What is your question? What's your question?
These right here, it's real close. My test, and that's the 67. So I know once you look at that right there, it's gonna put me right at a good grade. So I wouldn't have to
All right,
retake
I'll
it.
look at it.
Okay.
I'll look at it.
Okay. So what you want me to do? You want me to stand here?
Just to know, no, you go ahead and I'll look at it, okay?
Okay.
Y'all go ahead. All right. Today's class is 6.2.
6.2. All right.
All right. 6.2. We're talking about area. Area under a curve. Not calculus, but area under a curve. In probability, there's two types of distribution. There is the uniform distribution, and there is the normal distribution. Normal distribution is the old bell curve, and 95% of it falling within 2 standard deviations. The uniform is usually a rectangular shape, and both have an area of 1.000. Now, one of the reasons I write it as 1.000 is I tell students that in this chapter, if you see 4 decimal places, that means area. Two decimal places means z-score. Okay? Now, in this chapter, probability, in the previous chapter, I told you that probability can be written as a percent. It can be written as a decimal. It can be written as a ratio. And in this section, it can be written as an area. And just like before, 0 to 1, that's our area, 0 to 1. Now this chapter is pretty easy, but if you don't understand the first part of it, you're not going to understand the other 2 parts. Now, let's do a uniform distribution problem, because there'll be a couple of those on the test. Let's say that a college professor usually finishes his class or her class between 50 and 60 minutes. They want to know what is the probability of that teacher going to 58 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, this is there. All right. So, what is given? Given is the area is equal to what? That's given. And what shape is a uniform distribution? a rectangle or a quadrilateral. What's our base? Solve for h. So what's the height? 0.1. Okay, so the first thing to do, when you're doing uniform distribution, the first thing you do is remember that area is equal to base times height. 2, plug in the area and then plug in the base. Whatever the base is, plug it in. Solve for h. And then calculate according to what they give you. They want to know what is the probability that the instructor will go up to 58 minutes. Well, what does up to mean? All the way up to 58 minutes. So they want to know that probability. So how many increments is 58 minutes? 8. So it'd be 8 times 0.1. Well, what's 8% of 0.1? I mean, what's 10% of 8? 0.8, right? Which is 80%. So you've got an 80%, so that'd be 1 is equal to, I'm sorry, I'm not thinking what area is equal to, the base is equal to 8 right here. That base is 8 from here to there. And then your height is 0.1 and 10% of 8 is 0.8, which you have a probability of 0.8 or an 80% chance that that instructor is going to go up to 58 minutes. Yes, sir.
Are you good for what we're doing?
Solve it right here. 1 is given. 10 is 50 to 60. Solve, divide by 10 on both sides. And here's your list. This is how you solve a uniform distribution. If there's 20 problems on the test, 2 or 3 of them are going to be uniform distribution. And they're basically just going to be a rectangle and a base, and then you figure it. Okay? Now, the uniform distribution, the normal distribution, I want to just bring back a few things that we talked about from unit 1 up to the last unit. And instead of standard deviations, m is equal, or mu is equal to 0, or x bar is equal to 0, meaning that the center is 0. Now the center represents 50%. So this side is 50%, and this side is what? 50%, or 0.5. So this would be like 0.75. This would be like 0.95. So you need to read it from left to right. It's like the gas tank. And this is a z-score of 1, z-score of 2, z-score of -1, z-score of -2. So when we're dealing in chapter 6, 1, area is equal to 1, and 4 digits means 4 place values means that you're dealing with area. 2, we're dealing with z-scores, which means 2 place values. I'm just going to use star, dot, star, star, meaning two place values. If you see two place values, you're dealing with a z-score. And we're going to be dealing with table A2 in your book. Now, if you don't have a book and you just want to print one out right quick, you just go to Google and you type in Triola. I'll just type it in for you. Triola table A2 12th edition. And there it is. And then you print it out. And there's the table. All you need is about the second or the fourth page, fifth page. There we go. Now you need to make a note. You're going to need this. Either you're going to need this or you're going to need your calculator, because both of them will do it. Now there's a couple of things I want to mention about this table. One, I want everybody to highlight. If you don't have it, then just make these notes. We're going to highlight it and read it. Cumulative area from the what? And it's not only on this one, it's on the next one. Both of them. There's two z-score tables. There's positive right there. And it's cumulative from the left. Now what does that mean? That means that the area given by this table and the negative, either one, by these two tables are left-hand side. That's what it means. That means that if you get one of these areas right here, in 4 digits, that means they're areas. Any of these areas, it's going to be to the left of whatever z-score it corresponds to. And don't worry, we'll get there if you don't understand or if you've never seen this before. We'll get there eventually. And the area is right here. That area right there is what they're talking about. Now the z-score is going to be given by reading the chart. So if you have an area, now we know this is 50% right here, right? 0 is 50%. So we know this is going to be, probably around 1, somewhere around there. Put a 1 right there, so it's going to be right around 0.9. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Now there's two sides. There is a right side and a left side. Now I'm not talking about cumulative. I'm talking about the two sides of a normal distribution. Is on the left side. This is left-hand side. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the left 50%. Not the left-hand side. Left-hand side this is your left 0.5, and this is your right 0.5. You don't have to put that, but just this is your 50% on the left. This is 50% on the right. These are your positive z-scores, 1 and 2. These are your what? Negative z-scores, -1, -2. So if you are on this side, if they ask you, if they put a dot right here and say, what is that z-score right there? What side are you on? You're on the right side. So what kind of z-score is that going to be? So you're going to look it up on this table. If you're on this side, if they put a dot right here, and they say, what is that z-score? What side of the center are you on? You're on the left side, so that's going to be a what z-score? And that means you go to the other table, which is before this one. But they're both reading from the left of the mark. So what do you do if you want to find the right-hand side? Well, we're going to talk about that now in just a second. Area from the left means that at your z-score, the table gives you the area to the left of the z-score. And I'll put in parentheses LHS, left-hand side. Okay? So if you wanted to find the right-hand side, what would that be? What's the right-hand side? If the left-hand side is the left-hand side, how do you get the right-hand side? Starts with a C. What is the right-hand side to the left-hand side? Huh? Complement. Thank you. It's the complement. So if the left-hand side is 0.35, what's the right-hand side going to be? 0.65, Hubert. That's right. Because the area is what? 1. The area is 1. So if the left-hand side is 0.35, what's the right-hand side going to be? 1 minus 0.35. So the right-hand side is equal to 1 minus what? The left-hand side. Now, what determines whether you're looking for the right-hand side or the left-hand side? Well, left-hand side usually goes with the words less than. Find the IQ score that's less than 1.27 or whatever z-score. Find the z-score, find the area that's less than a z-score of 2.6 or something like that. So that means you're going to find the area to the left. So if left-hand side, L, is equal to less than, what do you think the right-hand side is?
Greater than.
Yes, mirror. So you got to look at the words. In other words, you got to read. Yeah. I know. Yep. Dang old lottery. So let's take a handy dandy look at our problems and let's see what we can find. See if I can discourage you enough to quit. I'm just going to go to the problems. Let's go here and chapter 4 and study plan. No, what is this? That's not chapter 4, chapter 6. There we go. All right. Now, one other thing I want you to add to your notes. if they give a z-score, what are you going to be looking for? You're looking for area. In other words, if they give you a z-score, then that means your answer is going to come out to be what? Area. If they give you area, you're going to be looking for what? Looking for a z-score. So what do they give us here?
Z-score.
So that means you're trying to find the blue area. So how do you do it? Well, first of all, you figure out which one you're looking for. All right? So that's this one. You're given a z-score. So that means our answer is going to have how many digits?
4.
At least 4, because I don't want you putting down 1.26 and saying that's the area, because that's not to 4 digits. It's going to be 4 decimal places. So you go to your handy dandy, do your table. I think I got it in here somewhere. There it is. Somebody tell me if this is a positive z-score or a negative z-score. It's positive. How do you know that? Because there's not a negative in front of it. So we're going to use the positive z-score. So you're going to find 0.19. Let's see, what's 0.19? That's a dime and 9 what?
Pennies.
Pennies. So where's a dime over here?
Or it could be a nickel and 4 pennies.
Okay, where's a nickel? There's not a nickel over here. Shut up. 0.1 is a dime. All right? That's a dime. Now where's your 9 pennies? Right here at the end. So what's the area of our problem? 0.5753. I'm trying to find my problem. Is this it? No, it's down here. 0.5743. So this area right there, the blue area, is 0.5743. Question: what if I told you on the test to give me the right-hand side? Heck no. What if I asked you to give me the right-hand side? Then that would be 1 minus 0.5743, which is equal to 0.4257. Somebody check me. So you got 57% on this side. You've got 43% on this side. And again, that right there tells you area. So that will keep people from going, I don't know whether they want z-score or area. All right, let's try nerd.
Nails is 5743, right?
What?
5743.
Yeah. All right, let's try nerd. Not that one yet. All right, try this one. I'll let y'all do this one. I guess just everybody's leaving today. Yeah, I guess just, yeah, let's just leave. Yeah, I mostly give everybody here today. I'm not going to even try.
You appreciate what we did.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure you appreciate what we did.
Yeah, I do. Yes, sir. Negative 0.97. It's almost negative 1.
Yeah. So you subtract the negative 1.
I do appreciate y'all being here. 99% of y'all, I appreciate being here.
This is my favorite class. Thank you.
Who is the 1%?
I'm not going to say. It's not you. It's not you. No. There's 1% in every class. You didn't know that? 1 in every class.
And who's the one?
I can't tell you that.
You could.
Nah. All right, so negative 0.97. Somebody tell me, is this a negative z-score or a positive z-score? So negative z-score. So you pull up your handy-dandy negative. Now, the area that we're going to get is to the left of that line. So we've got to find the right because it says what? Read the question. They want to know this blue area. That's right-hand side. So you've got to find this area and subtract it from what? 1. So that's 0.97. So pull up your handy-dandy table and look up 0.9 and 7 cents. 1, 2, 3, I'm sorry, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 1660. What'd y'all get? All right, so you go back up here. This right here is 0.1660. But we don't want that. We want the blue. So that's going to be 1 minus 0.1660. Well, 1 minus 16 cents is what? 84 cents. So it's going to be 83.40. Or you just saying yes, just to say it. So 0.83 is the green side, or the orange, or the whatever side. Blue.
Like Miami Dolphins.
Like sweater teal.
No.
That's not teal? Okay, what is it?
Not teal. Clearly ocean blue.
Oh, whatever. It's teal. Yes.
So you don't write the bottom number? Okay, the bottom number you use the chart to go find the other number.
Well, you use we're going to do one in a minute that you given the area, and you got to find it. But you got to know what this is. What is this? That's the z-score. So you got to look on the side for 0.9 and 7 and find the area. Now, what have you given the area? Then you got to find the z-score. So let's find one of those.
I think I understand that. I don't understand much about it, but I understand that.
All right, look at this one. This one gives you the left-hand side. I mean the right-hand side. So you need to find the z-score that corresponds to that mark. But you can't find the right-hand side area. What's the only area you can find?
The left hand.
The left-hand side. You need to know what this is. Right there. So that would be 1 minus 0.7673. And that's going to be 0.2327. Y'all check me. So we're going to look up 0.2327 in the table to find the z-score. Because what are we given in this problem? You're given area, so you got to find the z-score. So you take your handy-dandy table. And is it a negative z-score or a positive z-score? It's negative, so you're going to look on the negative side. And what was it? 0.2 what? I done forgot. Hold on. Thank you. 2327. Now, this is what I tell students to do. Change this in your head to $23.27. $23.27. Now you do this mentally, okay? And then find the closest thing to $23.27. Now the $23.27 is going to come out when you're in the middle of one of these. It's going to come out to be easier. So 2327. I'm going to move down. Here's some 20s down here. So $23.27. Oh my, we don't have to. There it is. Right there. And that is negative 0.7, and this is 0, 1, 2, 3 cents. So negative 0.73 is your answer. Yet.
You said it's -7.
Negative 0.73.
So, like, if you don't have the chart,
You screwed.
yeah, I can say, like, because they're not giving you a chart.
Well, it's in your book. There's two of them in your book, actually. They usually have one on the inside and one on the back cover, but I don't know if they... Or you can go to Google and pull up Triola 12th edition A2. That's all you need to pull up and print it out. That's what I pulled up when I pulled this up right here. And there's about 5 or 6 pages. Print all 5 of them out. Capiche? All right. What I want everybody to do is I want everybody to start working on the homework for 6.2.